Welcome to Radio Express World News, presented by Vibha Ramesh, Los Angeles, United States. The unemployment benefits are expiring this week in the United States, and the Republicans and Democrats are yet to come to a consensus on the way forward. While the Republicans are proposing a reduction in unemployment benefits to the tune of $400 per week in their $1 trillion economic recovery package, the Democrats are seeking a $3 trillion package that includes extending the $600 per week federal payments. This has led to one of the most challenging bipartisan negotiations over the pandemic relief. At a time when the coronavirus is still rampant in most cities in the United States, President Trump urges states to open up. He has also requested Americans to continue to observe restrictions like social distancing, mask wearing, avoiding gatherings, and crowding at bars. He further went on to say that substantial progress is made in the development of a vaccine and that a breakthrough will lead to tremendous economic recovery. Meanwhile, news has it that Trump's national security advisor, Robert O'Brien, tested positive for the virus. In another instance, it was announced on Monday that the University of Notre Dame will not be hosting the first presidential debate scheduled for September 29th, owing to concerns over the spreading of the virus. On a positive note, biotech company Moderna and the National Institutes of Health have embarked on one of the first big studies of safety and effectiveness of a coronavirus vaccine on Monday. Phase 3 of clinical trials will be testing the vaccine on 30,000 people across 89 sites. Now let's take a brief look at the developments in some of the states. Chief Executive of Google, Mr. Sundar Pichai, has told employees to continue to work from home until mid-2021. Washington, D.C. enforced a 14-day quarantine rule for travelers arriving from 27 high-risk states that include Texas, Florida, and California. Despite the surge, 23 states would still conduct in-person bar exams for aspirant lawyers scheduled on Tuesday and Wednesday. Most of the other states have postponed the exam until later in the year. California Governor Gavin Newsom announced a $52 million grant from the federal government that will be utilized in various fields aimed at slowing the spread of the virus. It was a case of choosing between the devil and the deep blue sea, as Texans had to risk infection to avoid possible injury or death from Hurricane Hannah. In a display of friendship between neighboring countries, India gave 10 broad-gauge locomotives to Bangladesh today. The handover was made on a virtual platform by Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar and Railways Minister Piyush Goyal to their Bangladesh equals. As coronavirus continues to spike in the nation, France has stepped up and donated around 120 ventilators, signaling a new venture to work together to build COVID testing systems. Tuesday recorded 45 new infections in Assam, out of which 22 infections were of Assam Rifles personnel. This takes the total load to 384 from Northeast, according to officials. Meanwhile, thousands of winemakers in France are battling a challenge of sorts. The economic crisis, coupled with the 25% tax imposed by the Trump administration on French wines, has collapsed the wine market. The 2020 harvest, which is just a month away, must be emptied, and distillery seems to be the only option. In the words of Thibaut Spet, a winemaker in Alsace, "We're producing more than we can sell. We have no choice." Another winemaker in Reichsfeld is sending half of the production, amounting to 320,000 liters, to a distiller for converting it into alcohol for sanitizer. Following the detection of one case of coronavirus in a 57-year-old man in Vietnam, the country is now evacuating 80,000 people from Da Nang as 4 more residents there tested positive over the weekend. Meanwhile, Zambia is seeing a surge in the number of new infections as the East African country reported a record number of cases as 11 members of staff and 15 lawmakers tested positive last week. The recent spike in Hong Kong has moved the government to reimpose restrictions such as prohibition of dining in restaurants, limiting of public gatherings to 2 people, and mandatory mask wearing in public at all times. The move made on Monday was in response to the single-day record of 145 cases, which is its highest since the pandemic. Yet another country reimposing restrictions is Belgium, as the number of infections seem to be on the rise, gradually but steadily. Belgium's Prime Minister took immediate action by reinstating stringent social distancing rules on Monday. She said that these restrictions were critical to ensure the curb of the rapid transmission of the virus and prevent another lockdown. To this effect, she instructed Belgians to limit social gatherings to less than 5 people, as well as restrict all shopping visits to 30 minutes. On Monday, Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, released a statement acknowledging that the coronavirus was easily the most severe global health emergency that the organization has declared. He went on to defend the manner in which the pandemic was addressed by the WHO and how the agency has handled it from critics. Ending this news bulletin, Lebanon issued orders to close bars, houses of worship, cinemas, sporting events and markets for 2 weeks as part of a lockdown after a surge in infections. Only some shops, banks and schools will be permitted to open, that too only for 2 days a week. With that, we come to the end of this news bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Please stay tuned for the next program on Radio Express. To receive Radio Express English news and English programs in your WhatsApp, please send a WhatsApp message, English programs, to 90727 95547. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Radio Express. Thank you.